You don't have to be weird to move your energy in a healing session. You don't have to be weird to cry in a group. You don't have to be weird to do silly things that you never tried before. I got pregnant when I was in college, and I wanted to be healthy. Until then, I saw my body as something to be changed and to be molded into something that men would be attracted to. Through being pregnant and through going down the rabbit hole of what is beneficial to your body, and I learned about the toxic chemicals in our foods, the pesticides in our foods, and I started learning about the farming practices, and I started to see my body as an ecosystem instead of a tool. I knew from a very small age that I was here to help humanity carry the weight of pain, the weight of trauma and loneliness. Theta brainwave state.
Okay.
So that you're still conscious, so that you can still, it's way more fun that way because you're conscious of, the visions you're getting. You're conscious of you may not be conscious of your body, but you can't say what's going to happen. Some people have seen scenes from a movie while they're down there. Some people have had their childhood trauma come back up and that they've been able to parent themselves in the meditation and offer themselves love where they have been restricting themselves love and judging themselves. And so it's so individual, and I can't say that there's not somebody that wouldn't benefit from it. There is actually a science behind every single thing that seems to be spiritual. There's nothing in this world that works that doesn't have a scientific reason for it.
Hey everyone, welcome back to InStar Podcast. I'm your host Naveen. On this podcast, we sit down with someone who doesn't just make music, she makes energy move. Meet Jeska Lea, wellness guide, sound alchemist, teacher, and founder of immersive healing gatherings that blend music, movement, and mindfulness. Her story began in 2007 with massage therapy and fitness certifications, but over the years, she's evolved into something bigger, a bridge between body, mind, and soul. We will talk about her journey from physical therapy rooms to sonic temples and how she's using vibration and community to help people rediscover their truest selves. Jeska Lea, welcome to our show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We wanted to know more about you so that people can reach out and connect to you and speak to you and get the help as well. Can you tell us about your background?
Really, if you just look at me as a wellness practitioner, I knew from a very small age that I was here to help humanity carry the weight of pain, the weight of trauma and loneliness. I was born into a very lost family with some serious things that underlied what brought about this dysfunction in my family that I never even knew about until my grandmother died. So I really knew that wellness was for me whenever, like you said, it started in 2007, where I started becoming a professional wellness practitioner as a massage therapist and also doing exercise programs for people and things, teaching them. But before that, I got pregnant when I was in college, going to school for music education. And I decided I didn't want to do music education anyways. So I just came home and I wanted to be healthy. Until then, I saw my body as something to be changed. I saw me as something to be changed and to be molded into something that men would be attracted to, into something that people would see as good looking or successful or something that people would be attracted to, right? And so then I finally discovered through being pregnant and through going down the rabbit hole of what is beneficial to your body. And I learned about the toxic chemicals in our foods, the pesticides in our foods. And I started learning about the farming practices, and I started to see my body as an ecosystem instead of a tool. And that changed my whole awareness when I was trying to make these shifts, because I realized that the culture in my family was so much the antithesis of what I wanted to bring about in my life. And it was such a struggle, and I could see the world struggle. And I knew that I wanted to do wellness, because when I started to put organic foods in my body, when I started to work out in ways that weren't punishment or trying to force my body into losing weight, but really making it part of the self-care instead of self-manipulation, that the way I felt changed how I saw myself. It changed the amount of hope I had for my future. And I immediately said, I want to do wellness. I want to help people truly heal instead of trying to find a quick fix through a diet or a pill, or trying to do a workout program that's brutal. And it just set me on this journey. And then massage therapy was the most clear pathway for me to truly help people and to become a professional. And I learned about energy work, and then I started learning about Eastern medicine, and the rabbit hole, just the amazing world that opened up to me when I went into alternative healing modalities. It reconnected me to who I was as a child. I also had a lot of turmoil in my family, and I spent a lot of time in the woods and connecting with nature. And until you actually get a full grasp of what holistic healing looks like, I never truly understood how my troubled upbringing made me into a very well-rounded and grounded person to do the work, because I was able to hug a tree and to listen to the leaves and to meditate and to hear this spirit speak to me before I knew or tried to practice religion, and before I even really knew what it was. It was something that I experienced first and I forgot about until I went back into the holistic healing world in 2007.
So, like, you've been to this new area of wellness, and you're a hardcore Pittsburgher.
Yeah.
You love the Steel City, but like, how it is different from other wellness programs? Because you hear these programs, each person brings, whether it is European wellness, or maybe it's very prominent in, if you go to California, Texas, that side of the city, they bring a different kind of wellness programs. Now you're saying like you learned a little bit of the energy flows and from the Eastern medicinal or whatever that system is. Mm-hmm. So how you are different?
Okay, I consider myself a creative first and foremost. I consider myself a visionary first and foremost. I'm one of those people that's like purely driven by intuition and driven by mission. And so when I think about my wellness business, I call it B-Sides Collective, because the B-side, as a musician, I am also a musician, is the side that is not highly promoted. It's the side that like everybody just listens to because they're hardcore fans and it speaks to them. So I'm always trying to find ways to be creative, to find new people to collaborate with, whether it's poetry artists or yoga instructors or it's a chef, and create events and retreats and things that truly just are one-of-a-kind experiences that are, I want to say, serendipitously, divinely appointed. Like, it's just random chance that these people came in contact with each other and we're going to do this event. We just do these creative things together, but we also want to create a network. And by we, I mean me and everybody that I work with, a network of support. And what makes me very unique is that I'm very spiritual. but at the same time, I'm very scientific. So I love science. I love spirituality, and I've always felt like an ambassador for both on either side, to try to show people that, you don't have to be weird to move your energy in a healing session. You don't have to be weird to cry in a group. You don't have to be weird to do silly things that you never tried before. And you also don't have to be uneducated in order to have a visceral experience and to quiet the mind and not have judgment. And that there is actually a science behind every single thing that seems to be spiritual. There's nothing in this world that works that doesn't have a scientific reason for it. Even if it is placebo is actually one of the best cures on the planet.
Yeah, I read that. Yeah. So like because our generation like always wants that scientific side of the situation, because if there is no science backing it, or if you cannot logically explain through science, then people tend to be susceptible for a lot of doubts, So we read that you had this sound healing certification 2023. So
correction, I got the sound healing certification 2021, and I actually never started practicing until 2023. And 2023 is when I started my professional coaching education, and that coaching education reawakened in me the possibilities of being a sound practitioner. And I realized, well, I'm leaving this on the table, this tool.
So, like, knowing you right now, like what you said, so you're step by step uncovered the petals of these process, like massage therapy, then you did course from the California, and then the sound. So you're bringing all this together in a step-by-step process. You call this as a sound healing process when you do with the sound? Like what is exactly people will experience in this one?
Okay, I try to go away from the healing term because I don't want people to show up thinking they're going to get healing. Okay, because they do, but it's not the sound that heals them. It's them entering into the process. Their body heals itself. Their body re-regulates itself. So what they would experience is a complete exit from their normal mental chatter, because I take them through a process of focusing on meditating on your body parts, on your relaxation, and then using the sounds to continue to take them deeper into a meditation. But the thing that is beautiful about using sounds such as the crystal quartz bowls, I use a big drum, I use a Native American flute, I use chimes that are specifically designed to vibrate in the room and to swing over people's bodies and things like that. The actual sound has been shown to penetrate the body and to vibrate the body. So it will help to stir up stored trauma or stored energy that's pent up in your body if you allow it. So people, they have described it to me as being in a transcendent state and being on another dimension, being able to see visions,
so
sporadically crying because things are being released.
So it's like when they're laying on some floor or something.
Yeah, like there's pads on the floor, pillows. They can put their head on a pillow. Okay. If you want a blanket, you can have a blanket. It's just however you feel comfortable. Some people don't want all that because they don't want to fall asleep. They want to stay awake, so they will just lay on a yoga mat. But it's whatever you want to do.
Okay.
It's free to whatever. You can bring whatever you want to it.
So, like, what kind of people generally come to you, or what kind of people you recommend to find this kind of therapy helpful?
Wow. Personally, I think anybody could definitely benefit from it. And people who never knew that they would get benefits from it, who were
For
skeptical.
example,
For example, one of my friends from massage therapy school brought her mom, and her mom was like, whatever. She goes through it, and when she came out, she had a heart arrhythmia from like a neurological thing, right? And she said that her heart arrhythmia kept her up, and it was gone for several days afterwards. It came back, but a lot of people have said that they've been able to achieve levels of meditation that they've never been able to do before because of their mental chatter.
so with the sound.
With the sound.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anybody can benefit from it. Even if you're the type of person that can't meditate, a lot of people get a nap where they just fall asleep because they're so exhausted and they haven't slowed down. And you're getting a more restorative sleep in a sound bath than you would if you fell asleep on the couch.
So they will going to sleep once this starts.
Some people go to sleep. Yeah, some people do.
So like they go into different state, you're saying? Or if not
Yeah,
sleep?
so the goal is to get to that point of almost sleeping and to stay there.
Is it
that
safe?
theta brainwave state,
Okay.
so that you're still conscious, so that you can still, like, it's way more fun that way because you're conscious of like the visions you're getting. You're conscious of you may not be conscious of your body, which is good when you're not, but you can't say what's going to happen. Like some people have seen scenes from a movie while they're down there. Some people have had their childhood trauma come back up and that they've been able to re-parent themselves in the meditation and offer themselves love where they have been restricting themselves love and judging themselves. And so it's so individual, and I can't say that there's not somebody that wouldn't benefit from it, because I think
There could be anything.
anything. Yeah.
So for example, a large group of teenagers, they get into something bad. They know like they want to control, but they cannot. Either it could be substance, either it could be smoking, whether it be something. Do you think those people can come to you, like find a solution for what this is? Or
I think within coaching, yes, I mean, therapy does one thing and then coaching does another. Coaching helps you, and even in meditation, I coach people in my meditations. So before I bring them in, I tell them the types of things that they might want to focus on, such as, did you ever see the movie The Never-Ending Story?
nope.
Okay, so I'll just explain this to you real quick. At the very end, the queen, she has a grain of sand, and the whole land was completely decimated by this evil force, right? And this guy was supposed to save it, and he didn't. He failed. So there's one grain of sand in her hand, and she holds out her hand and she says, you look into this grain of sand and you make a wish. You can wish for anything you want to. Anything you want to will be yours. You can create anything from this point forward. And I try to bring people to that space where they can truly give their practical mind a rest and let their spirit play. Let them think about like all the good things that could happen and imagine a world that ends up exactly how they want it to be. And then I also give them tools on when that trauma comes up. Oh yeah, but so-and-so is abusing you, and so-and-so told you were worthless, and you had this horrible situation, and you're mourning this terrible thing. And to learn to see it as separate from you and to put it in a bubble, basically a visual bubble, and to just allow that to just float to the distance so that you can watch it get smaller and smaller so that you are bigger and more important than that. And then to try to go back to that active, positive creation. And so it's all about training your brain. So it does take practice, but there's a coaching element too that I bring to my sound healing that I think really helps people use it, not just as fun relaxation, but to have a purposeful progress in whatever you're working on. So, because you can apply those two concepts of positive, just playful, fantastical creation, where we're all born with that and we're unrestricted as children. We learn as we go that we're not smart that the world knows better and that it's a painful place and that
So
things
that's
don't
good.
go the way you want it to go. But I teach them to take the negativity and allow it to be. I'm not saying get rid of it because it does exist, but you can contain it and you can separate it and send it away so that you can have the freedom to be the creator in your world.
Okay. So, like you're saying, they have this own control. Gradually, they can eliminate using a sound therapy or sound healing. You don't call it healing, but like
Therapy's good. I'll take
okay.
that.
I'll take that. So yeah, so like we have like a different people. Like lately, I'm seeing like mostly the middle-aged women, whether late 30s, early 40s, or for example, men mid 45 to 50. Like for them, like how they can approach, is there any solution they can do at their home as a first step before coming to you? Like any suggestion, like they can do first step at their home and then come to you and approach for these techniques.
Yeah. So what I find with myself and a lot of my clients that are coming to me for the first time is that you could talk about your problems all you want, and until you can learn how to regulate your nervous system, and that's what the sound bath really does, you can start to practice meditation on your own. And the best way to start doing meditation on your own is to learn basic breathwork techniques, because in order to meditate, to quiet your mind, you have to use training wheels at first. And a lot of times that's breathing, learning how to breathe properly. And people use yoga, they might run as their meditation, whatever. But when you're a very busy person and you don't want to buy new running shoes, or you don't have the motivation,
Yeah.
even a simple 5 minutes of doing a breathwork technique in the morning when you wake up, in a gratitude practice, so that you can change your vibration, they say, and then same thing at night before you go to bed. When you wake up, when you go to bed. Those are the two most pivotal times of programming your nervous system, because you're still in that theta brainwave state where you're very impressionable. And I know a lot of people say, don't pick up your phone, don't look at your phone first thing in the morning. I would go along with that, but I wouldn't say like you're a bad person if you do that, or you're an idiot if you don't do that. But you have to just like really learn to, take note of how you feel and to use breath work. And there's no excuse, because there's 5-minute breath work videos on YouTube. So if you do pick up your phone in the morning, that's what you should be doing. You should be getting a breath work practice and a gratitude practice, finding videos that you like. And I've sent them to people all the time. Like, here's a good one. They're constantly putting them out there. There's channels that are just dedicated to that. So the resources are there.
So for our audience, we'll try to get a couple of links and put it in our description. But
Good
I think
idea.
that's like well said, Jeska, because I've heard that as well. But you reiterating this thing probably help our audience to get in that revival mode, or bring back to at least a step above what they are currently in. So when you're blending the intuition and the healing, these wellness habits, is the nutrition plays a role as well. So how much is the nutrition is important? Like when I say nutrition, the food habits.
Okay, I'm going to drop some really hard truths. You have to be willing to be that person that says, no, my health comes first. And no matter whether you think I'm being a curmudgeon or that I'm being estranged because I don't want to eat the donut, and the reason why that is, why it's so important. I used to be an 80-20 rule person, and that's all well and good. That's a good place to start. But you have to realize that, yes, the nutrition is not just nutrition, though. It's the attack that's going on in your body from the food. And it's not like the food's going in there, it's attacking your body. But we're putting these strange things in our body. We're putting pesticides and herbicides, and because it's so hard to avoid these things. So I totally feel the frustration and hopelessness that some people might feel around this, is that you put these things in your body and it's confused. We know that the vagus nerve, which is the nerve that goes from your digestive system to your brain, and it's the nerve that is very pivotal. It communicates from your digestive system to your brain to tell your brain what's in the environment, what it needs to do. So we're getting more information from what you put in your body than you do from any of your other senses. Now, you can fact check me on that, but I really think it's true. So when you put things in your body that are foreign, and it really confuses your nervous system. So
it has to do extra work to eliminate those from the body.
You have to, and they build in the system. If you keep putting them in, they build.
Okay.
So you will get brain issues, you will get systemic issues, you'll get depression from your neurological communication pathways being muddied up by toxins. So there is that's why it's called holistic wellness, because like you can't leave any part of it out if you truly want to go on this journey. You're dabbling, and I was a dabbler for my whole life, and I never was able to find healing until I got honest about what I was putting in my body. And it's an addiction. It's a straight addiction. So it's not easy, and it's a long journey. So you, as with any addiction, you're going to relapse, and you're going to have times when you don't do so well. And so the guilt is the double, edged sword that you have to be able to forgive yourself and to say, I'm going to make the best choice I can the next time I get a chance to make a choice.
So we will provide the links in the literature what Jeska has in our description, and also we'll provide anything that provided today, and we'll get some information so that the audience can see them and experience yourself through the retreats. We were doing just because there are ways we can decrease this inflation expenses by doing something alternative and probably inbuilt in our lives. Coming to our next part, since we are out of time, rapid fire. If you could sound bath anywhere in the world, where it would be?
I would say the Galapagos Islands. I just really want to go there, and I would love to just do a sound healing for the sea turtles.
Where it is, actually?
Or for the giant tortoises, not the sea turtles, the giant tortoises.
Is it somewhere in the south?
The ancient ones.
Okay.
Yes.
What is that one mantra or line you tell yourself when life gets loud?
One mantra line that I tell myself when life gets loud is that God loves me. And when I say God, I'm not necessarily saying like the Christian God. I'm saying that every single thing in my life has a purpose, and that it's only to bring me to the ultimate space that I'm supposed to be in. So when life gets really loud, I know my needs are being taken care of, and I know that I'm being held in love.
That's fantastic. If there is a final message to Pittsburgh on today's podcast, especially to the creative community, those artists and the dreamers who are listening and thinking about what you're saying, what do you think the art that you're bringing could heal?
What do I think the art that I'm bringing can heal? Yeah. And if I'm going to say that to other people about what they can, how they can help the community heal, be who you are. Be exactly who you are, and don't worry about what people are going to say. Because if you truly are doing something that's making a difference, somebody's going to come at you and tell you that you're dumb, that you're doing it because you're a snake oil salesman, you're trying to benefit, you're trying to feed off other people. There's all kinds of negativity, and don't let any of that hold you back, and don't wait. Do something. Say yes to the things that your heart tells you that you're really meant to do, because we really are here at this time for a specific purpose, and you can't talk yourself out of that purpose. You can't let other people talk you out of it either.
On that note, for our audience, thank you again, Jeska. And to our listeners, remember, your path to wellness isn't just a journey, it's your frequency. We will catch you next time on In Star Podcast, where Pittsburgh indie voices find their sound. Until then, thank you again. Please keep watching our show. Please subscribe to our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube channel. Also, we'll share Jeska Instagram and other links she described in this show. Have a safe journey of your life.